Hey everyone, welcome back to In a Pinch with Hitsu Zen. I'm Hitsu Zen. My friends call me Chris. I'm joined today by your wicked Uncle Squinty.
Greetings from the dank basement here in southeastern Minnesota. Chris, thanks for having me along tonight.
Thanks for coming on, man. I'm honored. Today we're talking about a pipe tobacco. We're talking about Cornell and Deal's Billy Budd. Yeah.
Billy Budd. Burley, some Latakia, some bright Virginia, and a good helping of Maduro cigar leaf from Connecticut and Wisconsin. This was blended by a gentleman by the name of Craig Terrell, and it is available in bulk from Cornell and Deal, and also tin. I just picked up an 8-ounce tin of this from smokingpipes.com.
Yeah, now tell me, Paul, when you look at the tobacco bill, let's pretend like you haven't smoked it. If you look at the tobacco bill and you're seeing Burley, Maduro, Latakia, and bright Virginias, what kind of a smoke are you picturing?
Well, I'm figuring it's going to be in English because of the Latakia, but by the same token, it seems almost a little schizophrenic.
Yeah.
The addition of the cigar leaf sort of worried me initially. I didn't know how it would affect the flavor of the smoke. But we can talk about that as I'm smoking a big bowl full of it right now.
Fantastic. Oh, happy International Pipe Smoking Day, by the way.
Yeah, everybody, if you've got your pipes, fill them and smoke them with us, even though you might not be smoking the Billy Budd from Cornell and Deal.
Yeah, pack up what you like. Yeah, you know, at first glance, the tobacco bill does look schizophrenic, but really it makes sense. When you smell it, you know right off the bat out of the jar. I got mine in a mason jar. It's a lap bomb, and I mean, like with your typical Englishes, you're talking like max 20% on the lat. This is way over 20. I mean, you can tell by looking at it before you even smell it. Just straight bonfire.
Yeah, and if they list the ingredients by proportion, and I'm going from Tobacco Reviews listing of this tobacco, Latakia is the second ingredient after the Berlin.
Yeah.
With the cigar leaf coming in last. So, yeah, you can smell it. When you open up the pouch or bag or tin, you're getting a bunch of that good Latakia campfire smell.
Yeah. Now, Bright Virginia tobaccos, for anyone who might not be familiar, originally actually cultivated in North Carolina, not Virginia, and discovered by accident, unfortunately by a slave who was tending a tobacco field, and he used charcoal to restoke a fire that he had let almost go out. The sudden intense flash of heat turned some of the leaves yellow, which led to the flue curing process that we have now, yielding a higher sugar content, lighter body. They had already been experimenting with growing Virginia strains of tobacco in shallower, sandier soils to yield a thinner leaf. You got to keep in mind at the time they were growing Virginia leaf as a cheap cigar wrapper. So they were going for thinner leaves, but what they ended up with between that and the accidental discovery of the fluing process was a high sugar, very low body, extremely mellow. It's almost one of the tofus of tobacco because depending on what you put it with, it does something different.
Now, in this blend, Chris, I think you will agree with me that the sweetness isn't terribly pronounced.
No.
It's enough to balance a little bit of the nuttiness that you're going to get from that burley and a little bit of the sweet and sour and smoke coming off of the Latakia.
Absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and light my pipe up.
I'm smoking this in a pipe that was gifted to me, and it's too bad you can't see it because it's a tree stump with a shank and a stem. It's immense. It's got like an 1.5 inch bowl, and the bowl is the diameter such that you could fit a quarter into it easily. Drop a quarter into the top of it. So this is a big, deep bowl, and at least for me, this tobacco behaves very, very well in a large, bold pipe.
Oh, yeah.
This burns very easily. It's a coarse cut to begin with, and right out of the bag or tin, the moisture is about perfect. It doesn't require a lot of fuss when you pack it, and even less when you light it. In fact, when I did the false light, the charring light on this bowl, she just kept burning. This is a one-match tobacco for me.
Yeah.
And it smokes beautifully.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing when you first get it. Now I've never bought the tins, because they just with how cheap the bulk is, the bulk prices, and I'm not gonna promote any specific vendor, but they're about the same everywhere. They run from the high $2 range to the low $3 range per ounce. When it gets to you, it's ready to smoke right there. That said, I would say, as quickly as possible, get it into a jar or a box or whatever you're keeping your tobacco in, because if it sits out for too long, it will dry up quick, and there's no saving the oils in it. They'll never taste the same.
This is not a tobacco that you can rehydrate.
No.
At all.
No. And the big thing that you're dealing with here is good burley. And people smash on burley. I love burley blends. I know you do too. And when you smoke this, all of a sudden the bill makes perfect sense. The way they use the cigar leaf, the lat has got to be, it sounds insanely high, but it's got to be 25% at least. It's so heavy on the lat. What that does, unfortunately, is take body away, because lat has heavy flavor but very low body. It's very airy. I don't know if you ever smoked lat on its own, but it's hot air. But what the cigar leaf does, the Maduro leaf, which is a really oily leaf, is it brings body back.
The funny thing is, for me, there is less cigar taste than I would have expected when I first blazed this up.
Yeah.
But what it does, you're right, it gives that Latakia a lot of body. And this billows, man. This makes clouds of smoke.
Oh yeah.
A little bit of a warning though. If you have a significant other roommate who does not like strong pipe tobacco room notes, this one could drive him or drive her right out of the house, or maybe get you evicted. Room note is tolerable, but it is quite strong, and this tobacco does burn with a big plume of smoke.
Oh, yeah, it really does. The downside of that, and really the only downside I found to Billy Budd, is it does burn quickly. That said, I can make a cob last 20-25 minutes. But it burns pretty quick, so it depends on what you want to get out of it. You could chug it, or you could sip it. And honestly, as far as tasting the cigar, I don't taste cigar leaf at all unless I'm sipping it, and then I can taste it a little bit on the retrohale, but just barely. And if someone hadn't told me it was there, I wouldn't have tasted it. As you're smoking it, the addition of the Bright Virginia makes sense. Anytime Bright Virginia is included in a heavy-bodied pipe tobacco, which this is definitely very heavy-bodied, is used as a condiment, and what it does is kind of accent the nuttiness in the burley, which actually gives the burley flavor.
Right, the flavor of the burley, despite the heavy level of Latakia in here and the cigar leaf, that nuttiness, that light sweetness, and the great nicotine characteristics of the burley come out in spades. This is a fairly strong nicotine tobacco, I think.
Oh yeah. This is for me, it's a perfect morning blend, and I say that fully admitting that I've been chain smoking this since I got it. I think I took one break for some Scottish mixture last night, but outside of that, and I know a lot of people like mild or I don't know, light-bodied, something to puff on in the morning that won't upset the stomach. I work in a factory, I don't get a lot of sleep, and I burn a lot of calories, and I like something strong and stout in the morning. This is, I would put this among the Guinnesses of pipe tobaccos.
I agree, but in my case, I do prefer to smoke this later in the day. This is the perfect time. The time of this recording is about 10 minutes before 7 Central Time on Saturday night.
Yeah.
And this is the ideal time of day. It's after a good meal. I really enjoy this. The nicotine will sustain me for a couple of hours. It's really a great tobacco for me for late in the day. Okay.
Yeah, I know I'm kind of in the minority with that, but I like something bold and spicy in the morning. I like my lighter tobaccos in the evenings or on the weekends when my wife and kids are asleep and I'm out in the garage thinking about something, and I want something I can sip on for like an hour. That's when I'll pull out like my good Virginias or some of the more complex, lighter-bodied Balkans.
And while we're talking about taste,
Yeah.
this is a multi-layered tobacco. This is not one-dimensional. It does change throughout the bowl, with the sweetness being more prominent, I think, for me anyway, and in this pipe, the sweetness is a little more prominent at mid-bowl. The Latakia, albeit strong, does mellow out just a little bit as you smoke down it, and you get a little bit more of that burley flavor as well. The cigar leaf, if there's any scent in the retrohale at all, seems to be during the first half of the bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Therefore, it's not a tobacco that I can get bored with easily. This is one that I could smoke if I could tolerate the nicotine. I could smoke this all day, every day.
Yeah.
It's really a stellar tobacco. I'm not really qualified to review pipe tobaccos because I don't have that much experience. But on that 4-star scale that tobaccoreviews.com uses, I'm going to put this at a very solid 3.7, and depending on the time of day, maybe even higher. I love this tobacco. I'm glad I bought the 8-ounce tin, which I am cellaring, but as soon as I get a little more budget, I'm going to be buying a half a pound of this in bulk just to enjoy it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Same here. I don't do rating systems, but if I were going to rate this is my second favorite pipe tobacco that I've ever smoked. And I've been smoking pipe tobacco since I was 19, maybe 18 or 19. I'm 31 now, and I'm a grazer. I try something, move on to something else, and there are very few that are noteworthy. I'll be buying at least a pound of this summer.
Yeah, I think this is one that every smoker, particularly those who enjoy good, strong Latakia flavored or heavy Englishes, it's a full-bodied tobacco. It is multidimensional. It packs a nicotine kick. The Latakia is perfect because its body is built up by that Maduro cigar leaf. This is just a great tobacco, Chris. I think you'll agree with me. And by the way, thank you for sending me the hefty sample.
Oh, yeah.
I've enjoyed it a lot, and I'm enjoying it, in fact, right now.
Yeah, man, no worries, anytime. Well, thanks so much for coming out with me, Paul.
Hey, anytime. This is fun. Be sure to watch Chris's YouTube channel, where you are right now, and look for his new videos about pipe tobaccos and stuff. And if I may, I'm going to pimp my own channel a little bit. My name is Paul Shallbetter, and you can find my channel right here on YouTube. Thanks for watching.
Link will be in the description. Thanks, you guys, for watching. And once again, happy International Pipe Smoking Day. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe. God bless. And salud.